yeah, whoa. Look, they can never keep me down, I'm going. And if I ever fail, just know I'll go again. I never quit, cause I know that every loss may lead to another win. I'm going up.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spot Real Talk. My name is Tiara.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Ron.
And we are the Spot Real Talk, here to talk about PowerBook 2 Ghost. This is season 3, episode 9, titled A Last Gift. A lot went on in this episode. I don't even know where y'all want to start.
Well, let's start by telling folks to hit that notification button and subscribe to us, because we love you as much as you love us. So let's just share the love, please.
That part. Do all of the things.
Exactly.
So yeah, in this whole episode, I mean, like I said, a lot went on. I mean, the title of the episode kind of leaves you with a taste. I'm like, the last gift. So we see that Sax is out here trying to control stuff from the grave, similar to how Ghost was doing.
I was gonna say, Ghost.
And it's very interesting because we were wondering, how is his death going to be dealt with? And so, he starts off sending letters to folks and stuff. And of course, Jenny went to check his body at the morgue, and I think everybody was irritated at her, like, girl, how you gonna sit up here and act like you so sad, devastated, and you're at fault.
Completely.
Davis told her that too. That's what I said, because she's trying to go hard on him, but all the time, this is your doing.
Yeah, Davis said check
the protection.
Right. Davis said check the mirror. And you can blame whomever you want to blame, but you are directly related, directly responsible for his death, because you called off the dogs. Yep. So please,
And the fact that he sent the letter to Jenny, I was surprised because obviously Sax knew that he was going to die, but he actually said that he didn't blame Jenny. He was still professing his love for her and things like that. So I was just like, this whole vendetta that she has now, this thing that she's so determined to get the Taharas and Tariq, it's like even more turned up now that Sax is gone.
Well, I always had the question, can a man be pee-whipped from the grave? And I guess now that's true.
That's a fact.
But you know what, though? It was more to it than that, because when you go back to the interview that we had with Peyton Ashbrook, she said that they had a relationship before and stuff. Right. So, and I asked her about her intentions with Sax and if she really did care about him. And she said that she did, but she said that because of Sax's history, that she couldn't trust him. And that's why she moved the way she did with him.
Well, either way, I'm still not going to waste no time putting her on our who can get the hands list.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not keeping for her. She is absolutely on the hands list. I blame her for sure for Sax dying.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, the whole thing now is that they are determined to get Effie to flip. Which I'm like, Effie kind of held it down. She was like,
she did.
Very tight-lipped, didn't give them nothing to run with. So we kind of expect that from Effie. She's very solid, very tough. But I was kind of, surprised but not surprised that she turned down Davis's services. I mean, he did come in there smelling like a bottle of alcohol.
But he said she has somebody else, which you never know with Effie, because Effie is shady.
She is.
Effie is shady. So you never know who else she had in her back pocket.
Yeah.
I seen one of our commenters on our last recap had a comment thinking that, the prediction was maybe Effie was Noma's daughter, the long lost daughter. And I was like, I don't know how old that daughter was when that picture was taken. But Effie did seemingly have like a lot of connects early on to get her drugs. She always seemed to slip under, out of situations. So I'm like, I don't know who she got her team pulling strings, but clearly she's well connected. So I was like, I don't know. That's an interesting theory.
Interesting, yeah. And it would surprise me if that pans out. To me, it's a stretch, but it doesn't mean, that it can't happen. Right. There's so many things about Miss Iffy, whatever you want to call her. There's just so much floating around about what she could be. What she just could be is just an intelligent sister that knows the game, knows the system, knows how to get around it.
She's that too. She's that too, but she's also treacherous.
Oh,
Yes.
no. Not without a doubt. I mean, I wouldn't put anything past her, including dropping a dime if she had to, because, we see what's coming up. She's going to have that ultimatum. And right now, she's, the look that she has on her is not good.
Yeah. And I think Kane is finding out just how treacherous she is.
Oh, yeah.
Cold-blooded. She straight up told him there is no us. I don't know what you're talking about. That was just a little fling.
Yeah. Did I hear?
And all this comes after he done beat Tariq up. He done slammed Braden with the door.
Yeah. Did I hear Kane?
He out here playing detective, trying to dress up as her lawyer. I'm like, he went through all that, and you say you still don't want him.
Right. My question: did I hear Kane say "F you" when he got up?
He sure did.
Oh,
he
wow.
Sure did.
Okay,
so he was in his feelings.
He was definitely
in his feelings.
He sure was.
Yeah, and I think that I don't know what kind of girl he thought Effie was. I think he knew that she had this tough exterior, and I guess he thought he could soften her up. But clearly, he underestimated how much she is loyal to Tariq, and that group. She still loves him.
I think it's more of a machoism where he thought that because of who he is, if he had a chance to get with her, that he can make her do or get her to be whatever, he wanted her to be. But I mean, did you read the room in the last episode, Kane, when she told you to get up and walk, and you did exactly that? I mean, so I don't know what he was expecting from her, but obviously he got his little feelings hurt and got up from the table, and now, the love lost.
Yeah, so I think that Kane, he's definitely going to be cold towards her going forward. Yeah. And then thinking back to the feds, because they really don't have a case if Effie doesn't flip, so they all might be SOL.
Well, yeah, but I think they're willing to give her anything should she flip. But I want to get back to what you said about Kane and Tariq having that fight. I mean, I mean,
it wasn't really a fight.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it was more than the tussle. Tariq
didn't win, is what I mean.
He was about to get a beat down.
It was one-sided.
It was very one-sided. He was about to get a ginormous beat down had it not been for Davis.
He already got beat down.
No. I said a ginormous beat down. See, he was getting beat down, but if Davis hadn't stepped in, who knows where that would have gone? Because you swung first, bro. If you're gonna swing, make sure you contact something.
Yeah, he swung and missed.
That was.
Yeah. We need to get Tariq. We got him a whip. Right, to get him some karate lessons or something. We need to get him some boxing lessons or something.
Karate, maybe both.
Yeah, because he
got to get mopped up.
And you heard Davis. Davis was like,
he said, "Okay, Money Mayweather."
Like, yeah, I think not.
Yeah.
Right.
Not.
But Tim, I think you mentioned the conversation that Jenny had with Davis, but she also kind of threatened him in that conversation, saying that she could expose the fact that he was slipping Diana notes and stuff like that. And basically, Davis fired back by saying, "I'll sue y'all."
Well, first of all, I'm sure
done way more dirt than probably they on the same page at this point.
Well, first of all, I'm sure Effie would have gotten rid of that little paper he slipped. So the fact that she can mention that in court doesn't mean anything because there's no evidence to prove otherwise.
Well, that wasn't the only thing, though. He talked about how they bribed the guy into getting his brother out of jail.
Gotta prove it.
Sachs did that.
Right.
Sachs did that. And where's the evidence that he was involved? So
exactly.
Hey.
Yeah, and so that's why I was like, it's not a very strong argument, but it seemed like Jenny was trying to get Davis to work with her. And I was
trying to get him a flip.
That's all.
Yeah. I was like, you already know that's not gonna go down.
She should have known. She should have.
She was desperate.
She was desperate at that point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so, of course, Tariq, in his conversation with Davis earlier in the episode, he talks about taking the Whitman file and kind of hiding it away for protection so that Davis doesn't get, caught up in all of that mess. And of course, Sachs is manipulating yet again from the grave, sent a letter to Monet saying that Tariq is working with the feds. And I'm like, he is messy. I'm giving Sachs the hands posthumously.
Yeah. I'm giving Diana D the hands for going up in there trying to get intel from Tariq. And, you know, that was that.
Yeah,
well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, after Diane has called you all kind of B's, she's done everything she could possibly to your feelings, and then she tells you to go and try to get intel, and you do just that. I mean, and you buy into the letter that Sachs wrote, or that Tariq was responsible for everything. So
Diana has another agenda.
Well,
yeah,
I like to know. I want to know what it is.
It will be revealed. It will be revealed. Diana has another agenda though, and she gonna end up on our hands list.
I was getting ready to say. I hope to
put it on top of, like we mentioned last week, she's very green. She's desperate to get away from Monet and, you know, the illegal drug activity and whatnot. But I think that she's also just like very gullible and believe in every little thing. And Tariq kind of set her straight and was like, look, why would I work with the feds after what they did to my mother? Like, come on now, put 2 and 2 together.
Exactly.
You know what? I thought Diana is gullible. I no longer think that. Diana is just as scandalous as Monet.
I kind of agree with you.
It's gonna be revealed. It's gonna be revealed. I always thought that Diana was like, she's the weakest link. She's not built. She got some of the same scandalous traits.
Yeah. Oh, I think we've seen that in past seasons because Monet kind of put her up to it. You know, she learned from the best.
And not only that, you know, not that I don't know if it's okay to get to it right now, but you know, when Drew and Kane started to explain to her, hey, Monet is the root cause of Lorenzo's death. And, you know, initially she wasn't having it. Now you know that she's responsible. And yet again, I guarantee you she'll go out and try to do her bidding again. So D, I don't know. Yeah. I had a difference of opinion about you earlier on, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think that Diana definitely turned up this episode on Monet. I was, you know, not really shocked, but I think that, you know, learning all of the stuff that they did, those kids, we knew that they were going to find out sooner or later. And so Diana had the Whitman file that she found out with Lorenzo being at the scene. And then in combination with what Drew found out from Evelyn, it's kind of like, okay, this is all starting to piece together. And then once Kane came in and added his little tidbit, it was like, okay, Monet really is off the chain. She killed Poppy. She forced Drew to kill Gordo. And then on top of that, to take out the rest of the Castillos. So it's like, she has killed so many people this season. It's ridiculous.
That scene was funny though. The scene when they bucked at Monet and she was like, let that bee go. And I was like, see, I know Diana was hot, but my money is still on Monet. I think she
doubt.
Whooped Diana's butt. And you see how she smushed
Well, that's exactly why Drew had to grab her.
Because she would have mopped the floor up with Diana.
For sure. But that's my whole point. I mean, the only person Monet actually snapped at was D. I mean, she jumped up at D. She didn't jump up. She didn't really jump up
at D because Monet said, your ass should be the one dead. And so and when she said that, that's when she snapped.
Well, she could have snapped at Drew when, you know, because Drew had a real.
He was saying you lying, this and that, but she did push Drew. She said, get the F out my house.
Oh yeah, that was after she. His whole face. No, that was after she got up. But I was wondering, you know, how come you ain't jumping his face like you jumped so fast into D's face? Because you were all on D.
Because that was a chick. That's a chick. That's a fair one.
Okay.
That's a fair one.
Okay.
That's a chick. Like she jumping and trying to, you know, get Froggy and stuff in her house. And Mom, what? Right. And then you gonna say you should be dead? Yeah. No. See, you know, and not saying that Diana was wrong. They got every right to be mad at Monet for killing their father. I'm not justifying that, but I still think that if I had to put money on it, I think that Monet would have whooped Diana's butt.
Oh, absolutely. But going forward, it's like, where do they go from here? Does Diana go move in with Kane and Drew? And then on top of that, like, how were they going to deal with Monet? Does she now need to be taken out? Is it like, I'm going to get you before you can get us type situation?
Hey, the cards on the table now.
Cards are on the table, yeah.
Because I think Monet is thinking in her head, like, wow, all 3 of my kids have turned on me. I really don't have nobody else to do my dirty work. And so now I think her defenses are going to be up. Like, she's in defense mode, and I think she's going to feel like she got to strike first because it's 3 against 1 at this point.
Makes sense. The question is, can you get all three at one time? And that's a problem, because if you get one, you can best write your appetite, because you done. Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna up the ante.
Can I say that I was surprised that that the Castillos were able to be wiped out like that?
Yeah,
and so easily. I just thought that they were gonna be a little more notorious than what they are. I mean, I just felt like the I don't know if there was any real build up, but because they were saying they didn't want to have to go to the war with the Castillos and stuff, I was under the impression that they were just as fierce as the Tejadas,
right?
And stuff, especially since they, yeah. So I was just surprised that they were able to just wipe them all out in just one fell swoop.
Yeah, everybody in the same spot at the same time.
Spot.
And
not then
only
the whole
that,
gas leak situation, it was like,
yeah, that carbon, I guess it was gas or carbon monoxide, but the whole point is, and then you raise the garage door so quickly, you would wonder, how they, because it takes a few minutes. I mean,
I was
you don't
thinking
go
the
that
same thing.
Yeah,
I'm like, Drew took his mask off. He's up there in
exactly. He's up,
Evelyn's face talking to her.
There you go.
So I was like, how is this not affecting Drew?
Exactly. So I had a
why he took his mask off in the first place? Like, he didn't have to do that.
Exactly.
And he kind of had this little tender moment where he's apologizing, but also saying like, choking her out at the same time. So
when she said Monet, that's still his mom. So she was like, she spoke ill of Monet in his final breath, her final breath, and so he just.
I mean, she didn't speak ill. She spoke the truth.
She didn't say that wrong. No, she didn't say that wrong. But that's still his mommy. So
right.
Well, yeah. But now that he knows, what is he gonna do? That's the point. And which one will do it? I'd like to say Kane, because Kane will definitely take her out. He won't have a second thought.
I was like, don't sleep on Diana being a part of that, though.
But I think Diana would be the best one to take her out, because I feel like Diana has been wronged the most by Monet. She talks crazy to Diana.
She would be the most entertaining one of them all to take her out. But I'm talking about with the swiftness that needs to be done, it would have to be Kane, because Diana go up there and talk and run her mouth, and then Monet might get the drop on her. Kane would just go walk up and shoot her.
Maybe it has to be a group effort, because Monet is not a dummy.
There you go. It's going to have to be a group effort. It's not going to just be Diana, but I definitely think Diana is going to be involved, and I think we gave Diana too much credit for being like a good girl and naive and all that stuff. I think she's a little more savvy than we thought.
Yeah. And that kind of leads me to wonder where Brayden and Tariq would stand with the Tejadas if Monet is out the way, because Monet was the only reason Tariq ain't touched Kane yet. So that's why I was like, with her out the way, it would really, like, their whole organization would probably be a lot of infighting.
For sure.
Poor Brayden got busted up with the door. And he had enough family drama going on this episode. I mean, Tariq is telling him, like, Lucas is a problem. He needs to go. And, from the OG Power, I remember Kanan saying, you are not really a killer until you kill somebody you love.
Yeah.
Boom.
And here we go. Brayden has his first big kill, and he tried to do everything he could do prior to mitigate the situation. Tried to talk to Pops and see if they could work something out. He tried, after Lucas called the feds and kind of like gave up the drop, told him to look into to the crypto or whatever. That kind of sealed the deal, because Lucas was out of control. He said he wasn't going to flee the country. He wasn't trying to really look out for his brother. So I was like, he's just very selfish, and he wasn't thinking about nobody else.
Well,
go ahead.
No, and the ball's on him to think that you could go ahead and tell Brayden that you were going to flip on Brayden and the rest of the gang, and you up there on the rooftop, and you didn't think that your behind was going to be thrown off. I mean, you literally.
That was accidental kill. He cried.
I don't know. I don't think that was accidental at all. The way he went over told me.
Well, I was going to say that he was because Tariq was urging him, you got to take Lucas out, and Brayden still didn't really want to do it, but I think the fact that his dad was in jeopardy of going to jail, and then when Lucas said that he was going to pin the whole Ponzi scheme on RSJ and Kiki, I think that's when Brayden drew the line. He was okay.
Because remember, he told Kiki that if he could take care of it, would she stay? And so he really likes Kiki. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all that once he dropped Kiki's name into the mix, oh yeah, you're going over.
Yep.
Well, what did I tell you about sis? Didn't I tell you they were going to try to pin it on her? That's what I said. If any of us are in the equation, best believe they're going to try to pin the rap on us.
That's true.
So
and she knew it too, which is why it's, she gave that sob story about he's the only one that believed in her. Yes, sis, but you got to understand with your Blackness, if it goes down, you're going to be the one hung.
You're going down.
So I don't know what movies you were watching or weren't watching or where you grew up, but you should have seen that play out many, many times.
Absolutely.
Yep. Absolutely. That's one under the bus.
Right.
So, I think that this is going to be very life altering for Brayden. Likely they pin everything on Uncle Lucas and say he committed suicide under the pressure of all that was going on. I think Weston Holdings likely comes out clean after this, after they pin it all on Lucas. And then, but the feds still have that tidbit about looking into the crypto. So they're going to probably follow that trail into the drug ring. So I don't know what Tariq and Brayden are going to do to keep moving Elma's drugs.
Well, you know what? I think now the question comes in with Brayden's father, Robert, because yes, it's a Ponzi scheme. The question is his hands dirty with it? He gave the appearance that he didn't know anything about it.
I don't think he knew.
No, but
I think he was really upset that his brother.
I agree, but the question is that paperwork trail, did he falsely put himself in jeopardy, not knowing the whole truth? And sometimes, I mean, but then again, they're white and powerful, so I guess it wouldn't happen.
They got enough money to hire the best of the best lawyer to get them up out of that.
Yeah, I get. Yeah,
and so they got him from a former congressman, that Rick Sweeney and stuff, because he was involved too.
But you know what? I got to get a game ball to Rashad Tate, and the reason being, my reason being for that is because for once he put on his thinking cap when Tariq went and said to him that Weston Holdings was on the up and up, and he was smart enough to go try and figure it out, and he finds out otherwise. So yeah, I'll give you the game ball for that, Rashad. But
he screwed Tariq and them in the meantime. So that's why I said, so he gets the game ball for that.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's that love-hate relationship they got with one another. So I can live with that, but at least he put his game ball, his thinking cap on to figure that out, because I think when Tariq walked away from him, he realized Tariq was lying.
He knew he's his father's son.
Exactly.
And he said that. He said that. He was like, he knew he lied. He said he knew who else was lying. Exactly. So, that's what it was.
Okay. But I think I'm wondering about, Brayden and Tariq's relationship too, because Tate always calls Tariq out on being shady and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But this episode, Brayden kind of spoke his piece too and was like, "You've changed." And he even called him out, you didn't have to say it, but I know you killed your father. And I was like, I don't know where their friendship is going to stand moving forward, because it's looking a little shaky right now.
Well, now he
was like, "What are you going to do for this family?" I was like, "Oh, okay, Tariq."
Right.
Right. He scored one. He just took out his uncle, so you can't talk about Tariq anymore.
You see, Tariq was on the scene. If Brayden hadn't done it, Tariq was going to do it.
Exactly.
Serial killer.
Yeah, exactly. And so even with this situation that you mentioned, like with Tate, I think that he still might come up a little messy in that whole thing, because you took a donation from Lucas. So what does that say about you? The fact that he was in this Ponzi scheme and you taking donations. I don't know if that was a good idea, Tate. That's why I don't know about that game ball, Ron.
Well, did he take it, or was he planning to take it?
No, he said he took it.
did.
He said he took it.
He said he wasn't giving it back.
And he said he wasn't giving it back. Right.
Well, he'll be giving something back. So I can tell you right now, because when the FBI goes through those files and finds his name associated with it, he'll be giving something back, time or.
And the FBI been looking at him, because in the OG Power, they were looking at him. They were auditing his finances and all that stuff.
Okay, so I'll take back my game ball for Tate. Let me take it back. Let me just say this then. I was a little appreciative to see that he had at least thought about something, but then you guys bring me back to earth.
I mean, he's a smart guy. I mean,
well, yeah, but he's that love of money, which really gets him in trouble all the time, because he's so much in love with this campaign money that
I think it's more so power.
Yeah.
Well, money begets power. So you can't really, I mean, if you have one, you typically have the other. So and you're right, that's basically what he's after. But it's that love of money that he has so much that gets him or finds him in the situations.
I mean, because it ain't a whole lot of money in being the governor.
No.
So he essentially wants more power.
Well, if
I think he likes the fact that he can pull the strings too.
Well, again, and if you're dirty enough and you're in a government, you know where to find the money. So, again, that's that level, so that sense of money and power. It's there. But if you're dirty enough, you'll know where to find it.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both, because Tariq talked to him about getting the green cards for Obi, and Tate was picking his pocket, well, what about them donations that you was talking about? I mean, Tariq is like, I'm already giving you $5K a week. How much more do you want? So, I think that Tate is really power hungry and money hungry. It's a combination of the two. But then when it comes to Tariq in this situation with Obi, he's really riding on Tate getting those green cards to buy him some more time with Noma. And the fact now that they're going to have the feds investigating their drug ring, and they have Obi on their back, because he probably ain't going to, I don't know if he's going to get these green cards for real.
No, I think he's going to get it. And the thing is, I think once he gets it, then he owes Tariq a favor. And that's the thing. My son made a good point about that, because he was just like, Norma's supposed to be all powerful, and she's supposed to be the one that should have been able to get him the green cards. And the fact that it's Tariq, who's essentially an underling, that gets the green card for him, he gonna owe Tariq a solid. And he said one of his predictions is that they were going to end up working together.
Well, I got the impression that what Noma was actually doing with we don't know his name, or if you do, I forget his name.
Obi?
Obi. Obi. I think what she was doing is just stringing him along about those.
And that's what my son was. He said he's stringing him along and stuff instead of taking care of him. She's in a position to take care of that. And the fact that Tariq is going to step up and do it, he going to owe Tariq a solid.
But what's up with Obi putting his hands to his mouth with all that blood on it? I mean, my God, bro, wash your hands first. I mean, soap and water is available. Wash your hands. You put somebody. Okay, well.
I think he was trying to intimidate Tariq to let him know how serious it is. We not playing with you about this money and the timeline. Don't play, because this could be you in this chair next week.
Right.
He intimidated me when he put in bloody hands to his mouth.
Okay. Well, I think Tariq has quite a bind. He had another ordeal this episode, and again with Saxe trying to run things from the grave, he has sent 2-Bit a letter with, and 2-Bit, I figured, when I seen his credits early in the season, when they first premiered this season, I was like, oh, he's listed. Michael Ferguson was on the cast list, and I was like, which episode is he gonna pop up in? So finally, we get some OG power vets on the episode after losing Saxe. So
I like
it's always a good time when you see 2-Bits, though.
Yeah, yes, always. And he straight up told him, look, I know where your mama is, and if you want this information, Tariq tried to bargain with the guns and drugs, but he was like, nope, I want the whip too.
Give me a whip. Give me a whip.
I hollered when I saw that. I was like, no, he's going to take this nice whip, and then he left Tariq with the bucket.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. I'm like, he just got the car. Man, ain't even got the 30-day tags off yet.
Haven't even
like,
reached 1,000 miles and it's already gone.
And then the next scene, seeing Tariq behind the whip. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, poor Reek.
Yeah. So, once Tariq gets to Tasha's location, which, if he had Tamika's contact all along, I'm wondering why he couldn't just get Tasha's location from Tamika. But that's beside the point. So
I think he wasn't supposed to know.
He wasn't supposed to know.
Right.
But
that's why Grace said, I don't think Tamika was going to even tell him. Because remember when they moved Tasha last time, Tamika said, you need to forget everybody else. So he wasn't even supposed to be in touch with Tasha. Right. So right.
I was just saying, he still had that card in his back pocket that he could have possibly played. Yeah. But the fact that he got to Tasha and in time, mind you, to see Tommy pulling up.
Tommy pulled up ASAP.
Yes, he did, and took the little guards out. I mean, I'm like, what was the point of the guards if they could be taken out that easy?
That's what I said. I was like, they walked over to the car like somebody was asking for directions. I was just like, y'all not on guard, and this person just pulled up out of nowhere, like.
Well, and then he shot them both, the ones that were at the steps. He said, hello, guys, bam, bam. So, I mean, but nobody's used to Tommy. Tommy's just, Tommy's Tommy. He is a definite killer.
I had a thought. I had told my son this, and it probably would have been too dangerous to do this, but when Tommy pulled up, and plus because Tommy had already killed the guys, I just was like, maybe if he had seen Yaz, because Yaz is his goddaughter, that it might have disarmed him, because he wouldn't have done anything to hurt Yaz, but he was already in that mode and he came out busting. So
well, Tasha was like, you really gonna kill me in front of Big Mama and Yaz? And he was like, look, this gun got a silencer.
I got a silencer. That was funny.
It was funny.
Yeah, I really love when Joseph Sakura comes back on to the scene, because he just adds that kind of comedic relief to the scenes, and I really enjoy seeing him.
Okay, so who's the question, and maybe I missed it, who knocked out Tariq? You think Tasha did
it? No, Tasha did it, because Tasha was getting ready to shoot Tommy, and so she knocked Tariq out.
Well, I mean, I saw Tariq. He had a gun on Tommy. Tommy had a gun on Tasha.
But the guy, he got distracted because the guy came in and Tommy turned to shoot and he was going to shoot, but Tariq was going to shoot Tommy to save his mom.
Right, because Tommy shot whoever was coming.
Yeah, he did. But Tasha.
So somehow Tasha got something to knock out her son. So
yes, she did, because she did not want him to kill Tommy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, well,
I they getting ready to beef.
Say again?
They're getting ready to dead the beef.
Okay, but that was
I hope they are, and it would make sense, because I think if Tasha can prove herself by showing that she's willing to spare Tommy, then maybe that can go a long way in getting on his good side.
Exactly. Because
it's look, waving the white flag.
Yeah. It's like, listen, I did dirt, you did dirt. This is
let bygones be bygones.
They your family. They all they have left. Ghost is gone. All these people are gone. I don't like seeing them at odds anyway.
No, I agree. I like Tommy. I like Tommy for, with Tariq. And you know what? As long as Tariq's going to stay in this game, he could learn a few things from Tommy anyways. So.
And that's one of the things that Joseph Sakura has said. Like, I remember on one of his IG lives, like leading up to Force last year, people were asking him about things. And of course, he didn't give any spoilers, but he said something like, well, you never know when, Tariq will need his Uncle Tommy. So I was like, so they're still, as mad as he is at him, he still regards him as family. And so there's going to probably be, at some point, it's probably going to still be some crossover between the shows.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking too, because they said at the end that Tasha had been taken. And so I'm like, okay, so does this mean that Tommy is taking Tasha back to Chicago? Because last time we seen on Force, Liliana had gotten killed Tommy was down. He ain't fell out with Diamond and Jannard and all them. So he was kind of like a lone wolf. And I'm like, well, if Tommy and Tasha could make amends, Tommy could really use Tasha in Chicago to kind of navigate that scene there, because Tasha is very, very street smart.
Yes, she is.
You know, there's some talk about Tariq being in Force coming up.
That would be interesting.
Well, that's what I was saying about the crossover piece.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's important for he and Tommy
to get back together.
Because that will, you know, that'll be a segue.
And it was too, it might add a little flavor to Force, because, you know, people were kind of low on it.
I'm fully, because Gary Lennon is going to be the showrunner for season 2, and he was the, you know, one of the writers for OG Power and stuff. I fully believe this next season is going to be a lot better. I do.
And I did not enjoy it. I mean, I still enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too, but I know with Gary Lennon, he some of the best episodes of OG Power, he was responsible for writing. So I really believe that he's going to put his foot in it for this second season of Force.
I agree. And I don't know if y'all heard it, but Tommy mentioned that Monet was the one that gave him Tasha's location.
I heard it.
Like,
wow. I mean, Monet has a long reach, man. I'm trying to. This is going to be real interesting. This last episode with you know, Monet.
But it may not be what it seems, y'all. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not trying to cape for Monet at all. I'm just saying it's some other shady people at work too.
Well, I want to predict that it's definitely going to be a cliffhanger going into season 4.
Yeah.
Now, who dies? Any prediction on who gets taken out?
Let's see.
I think there will be an attempt. I think there will be an attempt, whether it happens or not. I think there will be an attempt on Monet's life, because first off, Tariq gonna feel away because he overheard that this letter, whatever it came, that Monet tipped Tommy off. So it's gonna be drama. He's gonna want revenge.
This is hard. Because even though I hate Monet with a passion,
you hate her.
Yeah, her character. The character Monet with a passion. I do. I don't like her at all. That's the worst mama I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I've seen some project mamas that would make her, you know, that make that woman look like the devil. I mean,
she worse than Rock. She worse than Rock on Raising Kanan?
Yes.
Okay. I think so, for sure.
Yeah, you know, because Rock did have love for her son. You know, I mean, she's that's another story. But nothing beats Monet so far. I've not seen a mama that beats Monet so far. So I don't want to see her go, though. It's just that what she's giving and bringing into the show keeps that hatred, that feeling, that sitting on the edge, what's going to happen to this woman. And I don't want that to die just yet, you know. So
yeah, I do like the tension and you know, the drama that's brewing there. It's like a big buildup. I want to still see her have some kind of interaction with Noma too. Like, they can't take her out before we get that.
Right.
I think that will happen before she goes.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I like Kane as much as Kane can do things. Kane kind of is a comic relief for me too. He is. Just certain things he says, how, you know, and if you look in his eyes when he's about to say something or do something, he's just funny to me. So
he is funny.
Now, Drew, we can sing a lullaby for him. I'm sorry if he can go. Look, I'm just saying, I can sing his lullaby. So, you know, hey. You know.
Well, I don't think we see anything like that this soon. Like I said, I think they're gonna leave us on a cliffhanger so that things can be real crazy next season. Will.
And Diane too. I can't see her going. So whatever the situation is in episode 10, it looks like all the characters will be around for, you know, the next season. So
yeah.
What about Lauren?
Lauren is on the.
She's expendable.
I think she can go eventually.
Yeah, she's expendable for episode 10. You know, because after all, you really hadn't shown up in several episodes except, you know, a little cameo here and there because you were It's so-called in
Will
safe
she
house.
die or will she go into WITSEC?
I think she might die. But think about it, because like if their Rico falls apart and Jenny gets exposed, she's gonna be out of here. She's not gonna have no pull to get Lauren no protective custody or nothing like that. And you know, I feel like Lauren is gonna be very vulnerable at that point. If nobody else takes mercy on her to give her some WITSEC, you know.
Well,
but if she has to go back out into civilian life as a normal person, she is gonna be so exposed and she's gonna be up for grabs.
Well, here's the thing. Kane already knows. He saw her. And even though Effie kind of rejected him, I think he still has something for Effie. And he knows.
Oh, he does.
And he knows in order for you know, to clear Effie, Lauren's got to go. So I think he'll take her out.
Yeah, I can see it. I could definitely see that. So we got one last episode left this season. There's a lot of different ways things can go. I think we got a lot of predictions out there. I really want to hear from our viewers too. Make sure you guys drop down into the comment section and give us your predictions for the last episode this season. And you guys, you know, I know we've already put some people on our Who Can Get the Hands list, namely Jenny, Monet. We gave Sax the hands from the grave.
And Blanca too, because Blanca was kind of, you know, she wasn't feeling that letter that Jenny got, you know, and she was still blaming Sax. So she didn't seem to have a lot of love for Jenny. So she's on the hands list just for having no emotion to what the whole scene and what was going on.
As far as I'm concerned, they can all get the hands.
All the feds.
Yeah,
all the feds, even Junior, all of them. All of them.
I think we gave Tate the hands too.
Oh,
I took mine back.
Oh. No, you gave him the game ball.
I gave him the game ball, but I took it back.
We putting him on the hands list now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he deserves the hands too. Oh, you know who I'm giving the hands? So I'm wearing my Wu-Tang shirt. So I'm wearing my Wu-Tang for Meth and Davis, but I'm wearing it because D Moody, one of our subscribers, has to protect his neck. He's getting the hands for saying that we should get the hands. We the spot should get the hands for posting our thing a day late. He had technical difficulties. So you on our hands list.
Well, you know what? I laughed so hard at it, and he didn't know. So I guess when I saw that, I was like, okay, man, you were. I had to laugh.
It's all fun, but he still get the hands.
Yeah, but I think
still on the hands list.
But you checked him anyways. But I'm thinking, yeah, he didn't know. He didn't know we were having the technical.
But he now officially on our hands list with Jenny and Tate.
I'm glad that people even miss us. So the fact that they anticipating our drops, you know, we appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. We appreciate the love. But I'm saying it with love, respectfully. You on the hands list too.
Yes, I love that we
play
around with our subscribers. Y'all trip us out for real.
Yeah, I got you, bro. Don't worry about Tiffany. I got you.
Ron can get the hands too. He can join you.
All right, this hands list getting a little bit too long.
Right.
Who are we giving the game ball to?
Oh, man.
Are we giving it to Braden for finally, doing what he had to do?
He probably should, because he saved the day.
He saved the day.
Braden can get the game ball.
Okay. Braden finally got his stripes. So, it's going to be interesting to see how this changes him too, because, after that first kill, it gets easier and easier and easier to kill.
Well, I know. The question is, do you give Tasha the game ball for knocking out her only son to save Tommy?
And we'll have to see
how that also was, and not only saving Tommy, but saving his own life. Because Tariq think he is a killer, but he ain't a killer like Tommy.
No, he never will be.
And so I think she diffused the situation. She saved Tommy, but she also saved her own son's life.
Yeah. Okay. So this was a really good episode. So much went on. I think I really enjoyed all of the different stuff they threw at us. So it's looking like next week is going to be very explosive. Actually, it's not next week. I think they have a week off.
They do have a week off. We don't. The season finale is May 26th.
Wow.
Yeah, so we got some time off to come up with formulate our plots and plans for episode 10, what we think is going to happen. So think long and hard about that, and drop down in the comment section like I said before, and give us your predictions. Also, make sure you subscribe to our channel, click that notification bell and the like button Also follow us on our social media. We are at The Spot Real Talk on all major social platforms. And also check out our interviews tab. We have had several Power cast members that we've interviewed before. Cooper Sachs, you know. We've also interviewed the actress that plays Jenny Sullivan. So go check out that interview tab and run those numbers up. You know, we need y'all love and support. Anything else before we close out?
No.
Okay. Well, on that note, I think we're going to call it a night, and we'll see you guys next time when we come back for the season finale. Night.
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 I used to stick around, definitely not for too long. But boy, you got me hooked and made me wanna write this song. Thought all guys are the same, apparently I was wrong. Let me take you somewhere where we could be alone. You know how people say it caught me unexpected. Well, I really wasn't prepared for all of this love and affection.